Hey, church family, Pastor Chad here. Just want to take a few moments and reflect back on 2020. Now, I know news channels and outlets are doing that. I got all that. That's not what we're going to do. I want to talk about some incredible things we saw the Lord do for our Grace Covenant family in 2020. Pre-pandemic, okay? So before Q4, before the fourth quarter of last year, 2019, we were averaging about 8 to 11 adults engaged in weekly Bible study in our Grace Covenant family. And then we retooled that group Bible study time, and we launched a community group as well, and wound up launching a second community group in January of this year, of 2020, and we were up to over 30 adults regularly engaged every week in Bible study with growth in all of the groups, and it was remarkable. And then March 15th happened. Well, March 15th happens every year, but you know what I mean. Then the pandemic happened and the shutdown happened, and just to walk you back through that timeline a little bit, we met online only, having never done that before, from March the 15th through May the 17th. 10 Sundays we all tried to figure out and fight that battle of making church more than just content to consume, as we were all watching it on a screen, my family included. It was difficult. It was a challenge, but we stayed engaged as much as we could during that time. And that was 10 Sundays of us not being able to gather together. And then we gathered on May the 24th outside here on the property. It was a beautiful time. The Lord was very kind to us with the weather. I just want to express my gratitude for that. We had a couple of Sundays that were a little toasty, but 6 Sundays we met outside, and we had a lot of people helping to make that happen. The deacons were incredible. The elders just rose to the challenge and got here to set up and make sure everybody had what they needed. I'm just so thankful. I'm thankful for a member making sure we all had sunscreen and to protect ourselves while we were outside. Just little things. The body doing all it could to care for one another during that time. It was remarkable. Then July the 5th, we moved inside, and can you believe for 26 Sundays, we've been meeting inside, masked, distanced, no hugs, no handshakes. It's been strange, but it's been better than not gathering together. And I just want to say I am grateful. I have talked to a few pastor friends of mine in the area, up and down South Boulevard. The way I'm facing right now, South Boulevard's right in front of me. East Boulevard's running that way. And it's been remarkable. We have been virtually drama-free during this time with regards to this faction, that faction. I just want to thank the Lord. I thank the Lord for the wells that were dug that I'm now benefiting from, the shoulders I'm standing on as your senior pastor. I'm just so incredibly grateful for. I'm grateful for each and every one of you who have made this year really a year of growth in a lot of areas. Let me talk to you about some of the things that still sting a little that we missed. Our 30th anniversary, and not just the meal, but the meal. I was wanting to implement more meals. I think it's important that we eat together. There's something special that happens when the body breaks bread together. And we didn't get to eat it all. And that was heartbreaking. Not that we would have commemorated the 110th birthday of the building, the sanctuary, but that happened this year too, in June. I missed our summertime fellowships on the porch with the lemonade and cookies. I missed our second Sundays at the park that we started last year, where we just got to watch kids goof off and play and take lunch over to the park and hang out. I missed our fall festival terribly. Missed that. I think I mentioned the meals together, and not just because you all can flat out cook, but I missed just hanging out. We didn't get to hang out a lot this year. We got to do some things, and I'm grateful for each and every one of those. But it's been a year that with some little things that have stung a little bit. Many of you have been very creative and found ways to connect. Let's talk about some new things that happened this year that I am so excited about and thankful to God to be able to serve the Lord alongside each and every one of you. We launched weekly prayer meetings that we opened up to the whole church. They're accessible by Zoom, and I know that you're Zoomed out, but this is not your typical Zoom meeting. This is not just a recital of people who need prayer. It's a time when we actually pray together about 30 to 40 minutes on a weekday. We do it where you could probably do it as your lunch break that day. We had done it on Wednesdays for a lot. We moved it to Thursdays because one of our members was in a vital outreach in our community that was on Wednesdays, so we moved it to Thursdays recently. And some days there have been a lot of people on there, and some days just a couple, but each day has been special and meaningful, and I believe instrumental in the success that we have enjoyed this year as a church. The church that prays together fulfills the Great Commission together. I believe that. We launched that this year. Our Sunday evening virtual Bible study group we launched this year as because we couldn't gather as adults on Sunday morning for much of the time until October. But we launched that virtual group, and again, many and few have attended, depending on the week. It's okay, but it's available for those who are unable to make that Sunday morning gathering. You don't get enough Bible, and you don't get really any interaction during the Sunday morning sermon, says the pastor preaching the sermon. What you need to do is to engage as a community. And that's part of your discipleship pathway, not just gathering to worship on Sunday, but coming together in community groups and Bible study groups so that we can interact around the Word together. Those groups I mentioned earlier have grown, and since we have phased back in our Sunday morning Bible study groups, those have grown. We've seen growth in all the children's area. We've launched 2 new children's resources, or 2 new children's classes, that is, with our middle school and high school boys and girls classes, and those are growing. And we've seen growth in the upper elementary and lower elementary, and we are just marveling at this, and we're grateful for that. We also launched a streaming avenue of the church, an extension of our Sunday morning service that is reaching now consistently more than 100 people dial in or land on that page in some way to view part of that service on Sunday mornings. Every week, that's an additional 100 people that Grace Covenant Church is engaging with. I'm just marveling at the Lord's goodness. We had our largest Christmas missionary offering that we've had in recent years. And I'm grateful for that. I am so grateful for that. So I just want to say thanks to the Lord and thanks to each and every one of you for helping 2020 to be a special, yes, historic, yes, it's struggling in a lot of ways. We helped several families as a result through Faith, Hope, and Love. We helped families even within our own families who didn't have access to the service and didn't have a device. Grace Covenant provided devices for at least 2 of our families to be able to engage regularly that couldn't have otherwise. So I'm just grateful. In spite of all that was thrown at us, in many ways we thrived. There were trade-offs. I can't wait for better days. But can I tell you, I'm not looking at 2021 to fix all of our problems. I'm not putting all of my hope and stock in 2021. I'm endeavoring to fix my eyes upon Jesus for real and lasting hope, peace, joy, and love, not just in the Advent season, but the whole year round. I'm excited about what the future holds because we're walking in it together. God bless you, Grace Covenant Church. I'm looking forward to the days, the weeks, the months, and the years ahead for the glory of God.